So, first of all, we welcome all the learners once again to today's discussion session. Today, we are here with another topic discussion. I hope this will also be helpful for everyone. You know, Vikram, sometimes I feel that when we are talking with someone for the first time, there is an awkward air. No, we feel so awkward. We don't know how to start the conversation. And on top of that, if you are an introvert, that's much more of a big problem. So, how you can start the conversation, how you can make it feel less awkward, that's very important. And most of the times, we think that it's such an easy topic. What is there to discuss? We can start with introduction and whatnot, but there's much more to that. And most of the times, the learners also they think that it's quite easy, so we should not discuss about it. But this is a very powerful tool in conversation, I feel. What is your opinion, Vikram?
Yeah, definitely. I came across many people when it comes to talking about people this time. So it gets quite complicated for the people to deal with the situation. They won't be able to express themselves and they come across nervousness. Basically, nervousness is a human nature. Anybody can feel apprehensive, but if we are going to try some sort of icebreaker activities and we are going to learn some sort of phrases and we are going to practice this thing, then it is going to be as simple as anything. Apart from that, I'm not telling that we can get rid of agitation completely because it's a human nature, but by applying these tricks, techniques, it is gonna help us to get better.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. The topic that you said, icebreakers, it is quite an important topic. And it is also an underrated topic, I feel. Because when we are having conversation with someone, we mainly emphasize on the sentences, we mainly emphasize on what mistakes we are making. But how to start the conversation, how to make it seem more satisfying, more interesting, that's a very important topic, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so Vikram, what tips would you like to give to the learners out there who want to remove this awkwardness in the conversation so that they can speak quite easily?
Definitely, in this conversation, we can discuss some sort of tips which will definitely help the learners to reduce this kind of agitation whenever they are going to have a conversation with the people for the first time. Whether they are going to have a conversation with their friends, family members, relatives, or if they are working at any company and meeting with their employees and all, in every situation, we can handle the things. So the first tip which I'm gonna provide here, that is simple introduction. Make your introduction as simple as anything you can do. And by saying hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. These kind of phrases you can include in your conversation. Apart from when it comes to talking about a casual conversation, so you can say hello, what's up, something like that. So these kind of expressions you can keep handy. Apart from that, what else you need to do? Whatever the expressions which you are learning, try to practice it again and again. You can practice it in front of the mirror and then just try to use it in a real life conversation, and definitely it is gonna help the learner. So the first point which I have shared, that is make your introduction simple and try to learn some sort of expressions. What do you think about it?
Absolutely, I totally agree with you, Vikram. And most of the times, mirror practice, it's a very important practice, I feel. It's a strong practice. You can be your own judge, isn't it? So, second tip that I would like to
Yes.
give from my side is adding more and more questions. You know, when we are starting the conversation, first we can start with the question after introduction that you added. Right? How we can start with questions like, how was your day? What are your plans for today? If you could live in any fictional world, which kind of world will you choose? If you could add any holiday by yourself, what kind of holiday it would be? So this could be some kind of warm-up questions that we can ask the other person. How? By being confident. And immediately they will also get interested to discuss more about it. And there is one plus point also. You will be able to know a lot of things from your side and from their side also. Like what they will say, you will know more about it, right? And you can talk more about that topic which that person is interested in. And that way, I think the conversation will be pretty much engaging. And you also won't make it out that when it will be the time where both of you are already best friends. I feel this will be a very powerful tip for everyone out there. What do you think, Vikram?
Absolutely, whatever the point that you have included, that is really great because I have seen most of the people, it is quite easy task for them to start the conversation, but it becomes difficult task for them to continue with the conversation, right? So here you have
Right.
included this point that how to continue the conversation by including some generic questions which are quite general in nature by asking how's your day going, how's everything turning so far, these kind of questions. So this is really an amazing approach to continue our conversation. One more thing that I would like to add here, that is speaking naturally. Just try to make your conversation natural rather than trying to memorize the things. If we are trying to memorize the things or we are putting extra efforts, so definitely it is gonna hamper our fluency. So the best approach, try to be natural. Secondly, have a smile on our face. Because if we are having a smile on our face, this is gonna provide positivity to other person. So these are the things which we can consolidate in our conversation, and definitely this is gonna help us to reduce the nervousness. At the same time, we can make other person comfortable. What do you think about?
Definitely. Yes, why not? Why not? Smile is like a wonderful instrument we can use to make people impressed, right? And somewhere I even read, Vikram, that when someone is not feeling well, you can just give them a smile, and that is enough to light up their whole world. So I think definitely this is a very beautiful tip. We can really smile when we are talking with someone. It shows how much approaching we are, right? Definitely. I agree with you. The next tip which I would like to give them is one of very underrated tip once again, right? So I feel that giving compliments is very important because if when you are giving compliments, it shows that you are listening to them nicely, right? That's why you know what good things they are including in the conversation. So how you can give the compliments? Like, wow, whatever you said, I totally agree with you. That's a great discussion, right? Your confidence is great, isn't it? I think I would love to talk with you again in the near future. So, like this, we can include some compliments for showing that you are really enjoying the conversation, isn't it? So, I feel that we should try to give compliments in between the discussions, after finishing the discussion, because this kind of compliments will make the person more optimistic and they will love to communicate with you again in the future. What do you think, Vikram?
Yeah, that's really great point that you have included. Seriously, I believe that if the person is feeling uncomfortable, that person is not able to communicate effectively. So if you are giving compliments to that person, definitely this is gonna work as a medicine, I believe. Because when we give compliments to others, definitely that person is gonna feel comfortable. At the same time, it is gonna motivate them. So it
Right.
works as a power or as a medicine for the learners who are learning English. Because somehow it happens if the person is not able to communicate effectively. So if we are giving them these kind of compliments and we are appreciating them, so appreciation works as an empowerment, I would say. So this is gonna
Absolutely.
empower them. Yes.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Okay. So now I'm gonna include one more thing from my side about this. Apart from compliments, we can also do one thing. Whenever we are going to have a conversation with anybody, whether we are going to approach a person who is totally a stranger to us, we are having a conversation with the person for the first time. So what we can do, we can include some sort of questions related to interest, hobbies. We can ask that person, what's your interest? What do you like in this field? What do you like in that domain? What are your hobbies?
Right.
What do you like to do in your free time? If we are posing these kind of questions, it means we showing interest in that person. So this is gonna
Right.
put a positive impact, and definitely these kind of questions are gonna help us to keep continue with our conversation. What do you think about it?
Definitely, Vikram. Now, if we are having a conversation and I am meeting you for the first time, I think the best, safest thing is to start with this kind of conversations. Like, where are you from? What are your interests? What hobbies do you have? Right? And currently, what are you up to? Right? So, this kind of things. And on top of that, I feel that knowing about the other person is very important. Then only we will feel comfortable in talking in the future also. So I feel that knowing about the other person's hobbies, interests, areas, and all other things is very important. And secondly, Vikram, I can also say one thing that when we are talking with some other people, we can give this kind of professional compliments also, like your accent is quite great, isn't it? So I feel that I can learn
Yes,
more from you. So this kind of compliments we can give because what is the ultimate truth? The person will be happy after listening to it and there will be more room to try in the nearby future. Okay. So definitely, I totally agree with you, Vikram. And there is one last tip that I would like to add from my side is to continue the practice. You know, learning a language is not something which you will be able to achieve in only one day, 1 month, or 2 months. You need to give some time to it. It's not like today I started the practice, after 1 month it will be over from my side. Because learning is like a whole, sea, you can see. There are a lot of things to be learned, isn't it? So basically, we should try to practice again and again. We should never stop learning this language because when we will start learning, there will be an ultimate time where we will feel that no, there is more to learn. It's not over yet.
whenever you are going to deal with any kind of activity, or you are going to have a conversation with the person for the first time, so the first thing which you need to do, just try to keep your introduction quite simple. And the second thing, you can give compliments to the person. Later on, you have to keep continue with the conversation to try to include some sort of questions related to their interest, hobbies. Apart from that, listen to the person actively. Active listening plays an eminent role. If you're not listening to the person, might the person think that, oh, this person is not interested in listening to me, this person is not showing interest. Apart from that, you can practice these things with your family members, your co-learners, or if you're not having resources, then just try to use your mobile phone as a tool. And last but not the least, the thing which we are having, that is practice, practice, and practice. So I hope this little
Absolutely.
information is going to help the learners to tackle the situation whenever they are going to deal with this kind of situation.